Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. This is the 29th of August. Thank you for your time and thank you for coming to the TradeVSA Saturday special talk in here. I know many of you are busy, but you're able to come in and visit us and listen to us. Thank you for your time again. So with your time well spent with you, I want you to take away some best lesson learned is best in class value trading. That's right. How we want to combine momentum trading, CanSlim, and magic numbers all in one, especially in the context of the post-COVID-19 market recovery rallies. And like it or not, many of you are sort of fatigued in following up the market. That is why we want to give you a methodology that you don't need to follow the market more closely, but it's more further away, a longer time frame. Is that what you all wanted? If you're like a longer time frame, type 4, right? You don't have to be always in the market. All right, just type 4. So at least know this content in here will suit you rather than a longer time frame in here. Is this similar to volume spread analysis? No, it's quite different actually. This is why we want to say, we want to present you another perspective. There was a question asked from Kevin saying that, look, is this volume spread analysis? No, it's not. It's momentum trading, and we want to show you the techniques of different sifu and different master, where later on Arif is going to come back and share with you all. Okay, so great, we got a lot of people looking to this. Okay, come, let's move on to it now. A little bit about our company, of course, right? Those of you who are listening for what we are and what we do. Now, TradeVSA, we are a fintech company. We focus on volume spread, and that's our bread and butter. That's right, bread and butter. So this is where we use the methodology, the volume spread, which was taught by, the next slide I'll talk about Tom Williams in here, and we are really promoting and propagating it to the East here. That's right. This is something from United Kingdom. The Sifu's Tom Williams, I'll talk about it in here. And the real goal the company was formed is really to help out every trader and every investor to trade smarter. And at the end, we really focus on the client part. That's always been, you guys are really been our first target, the client focus in there. But understanding the stock market, we are considered to be a technology company, and we are focusing now more on servicing your needs. Okay, your client needs, and we are not with fanciful, or kind of where we don't flash out the Lamborghinis kind of thing. We are really down on earth. We make the money as we go, but we are, we share the methods that we have. So usually you can benefit. We believe in the longer run we can establish a very good relationship between you and me, and that's what we are trying to do right in here. All right, that's our company. Now, this is Richard Wyckoff, a younger self of me, when I met up with Tom in here. So the methodology, as I said before, looks into the multiple dimension between price and spread. Again, these are something usually taught at 9:30 or in our paid courses in here. Now, VSA, volume spread analysis, is a course that was pioneered by Tom Williams, having said that, and it's a highly professional system in here. And he also created a trade guider system, right? So how is it different, trade guider, from a Pentagon? We will talk about it one day later, but not today. Today we talk about value momentum. And VSA, like it or not, is also built on the works from Richard Wyckoff, a very famous trader back in the 1920s. Okay, so at least we get that. But do you have a Lamborghini? Do I have a Lamborghini? Is that the question? I have a friend who have a Lamborghini. Okay, so is that, hopefully I also have a friend who have a private jet and a helicopter ride too. I think that's also a matter of interest, right? I'm a very down-to-earth person. I make my money, I spend when I go for holiday, but I don't need to show it off. I think that's more important too, because that's always been my private life. But I do share some of the knowledge and the content that I want to do. I think that's what's more important, right? Do you want to go on my, all right? I think if you learn those skills on yourself, you make the money, you'll be true, then you'll be truthful to yourself and your family. At the end of the day, I suppose all of us need to be truthful to our own self. Why are you brought up in life? All right. So I always say is to serve my family, serve my customer, and serve you. I always say that, and also to serve my fellow students and my coaches in here. I want to train them up to be the next very important and useful person, so they can be beneficial to the society. I suppose that's more important. Okay. Yeah. Roadmap. Thank you. All right. Let's move on. So if you notice, this is the Pentagon guider that you have seen in here, and it always been very simple: green to buy and red to sell. So those of you who are listening for the first time in here, so this is where we have the green Pentagon here. Right, let me just bring out the laser pointer. This is where usually we want to be buying. Of course, Zach is going to show you and tell you there are other better ways. This is a very simple way of going. When you see the green, you buy. When the red, you sell. That's why you make a 35% profit for that one. That's a Pentagon sell in here. And then you have the red Pentagon buy. That's where you want to be buying, right? And that's, you write again. I suppose that's how you in. Right, so let's move on. Now, our services, right, rather, other than the patent from the Pentagon in here, we have our chatbot. So we have two parts of our business, which is actually the software analytics that many of you who have not got so can download a copy of Smart Robie, the software analytics, and also our educational site, which is what we are talking about. We do a lot of face-to-face talk, our YouTube and Facebook. We have more than 13,000 followers, and close about, I have to say, 1,000 hours of video tutorial in Facebook and also in YouTube. We have a Telegram chat group. Now we are really touching 6,000 in here. And I hope that some of you who are visiting in here, do check. Now there's a question, Ming Si said, how do you get hold of the charts, right? Ken, Lambo shares, but Lambo shares, or some of the members say here Lambo shares. Smart Robie is helpful. Thank you very much. I hope it helps you to make money, Mizu. And the charts, you can get it from Smart Robie. That's right. You can get it from the Smart Robie here. Now, our training and support, as I said before, our channel, our company with our coaches, Zach, Arif, and Marina, with a lot of our programs are really dedicated to service you. And we have the YouTube, Telegram, and Instagram in here where we produce a lot of content like it. That's why I tell my team, we need to do on a Saturday because we want to produce content that eventually we will talk about it. Hey, this method, have you thought about it yet? But I don't have time to explain. So you can go onto the YouTube and watch this best-in-class value momentum trading, and this is what it's all about, so you can understand it. So by the time when you do pick up and upgrade your skill to know in the market, then you'll be fine. Okay, so we are highly engaging videos in here and targeted for the group site. For example, this week we talk about last week we talked about pharmacy. This week we talk about the plastic counters. I'm sure you know those plastic counters that I talk about. So make sure you go ahead and click on the of follow our Facebook, then you'll see many of you'll be informed of any of our video too. Picture is not very clear. Picture is not very clear. Thank you. I think it got to do with your broadband here. For my side here is okay, but the smaller font one on the right hand side, basically just talk about 12,000 followers in here. I'm going to make the others. This is the smallest that I have. Okay. Oh, you're talking about the picture. That is just to show you that we do a lot of those videos. Okay. Now, this one is big enough, I think. So for those of you who are first time, then many of you type number 1, do join our Telegram chat group. So this is a QR code in here. Australia, US dollar predict. No, we don't do that one, okay? Are you one of those Forex fellas in here? We don't talk about Australia and US dollar predict because there was a question came up in here. So I'll probably just ignore you first, all right? And we have this premium alert coming, the QR code to join our Telegram group. So do join Telegram group because we'll be giving a lot of free information like the talk that we do today, so you can really understand how we are going for. Okay. So let's move on to the next talk. Wait. Okay, so also don't forget to join us on YouTube, where you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you do not miss any parts of. We view our content, the video that we do, as a series of mini courses. One course here, mini course, one course. So you can sort of join in and upgrade as you go, because you need a certain skill or level to be in the market. Else, eventually you will make money from your income. But the question is, how do you want to grow it? I think that's very important. Things that I've done for my client able to grow to millions. Okay, they have started with a small amount. I grow to a couple of million for them over years, of course not overnight. And that's what are the knowledge we want to do. As the market right now, with what we see in the market will continue to grow, a methodology like best in class, momentum trading, CanSlim, and value investing will take you to the next level. So this YouTube channel is a way that you can touch in of all our programs. So make sure you subscribe, and then that way a lot of videos will be out there. Okay. Yes, you cannot check in the Telegram group. That's right, Kevin. But you can check in our paid premium membership. Okay. Kevin, are you? No, Kevin asked a question. He gonna chat on the Telegram group. But you can always ask question in there. We have 6,000 over people in there. If everybody asks questions, so very difficult to service. So that's why we created a premium membership. If you want to, you get all the tools, something that you want to, join us, get the masterclass, the receipt where our coaches will, attend to you. That's always been our purpose. If not, just go for all the free stuff that we have on YouTube and on Telegram. All right, because we find that we can dedicate better attention to those who really needs it. And if you feel it's a good to upgrade, then you upgrade. If not, just stick to the free stuff, okay? And also one of the free stuff that we have is also Smart Robie. So make sure you share a copy of Smart Robie and you get 200 credits, because during the trading hours, you want to able to get the premium alert if you are intraday trader. If you're not, you can use it after office hours and not pay anything else. It's free after office hours in here. And also, don't forget, this coming Monday, that's right, Monday 11 a.m. is our official launch of our Smart Robie. That's right, Smart Robie in Bursa version, right? We have our celebrity chef. I've been promoting this as also our TradeVSA coach, Arif, to come in to talk more about the benefits of using Smart Robie. Again, this is just a language in narrative. Many of you are, what type of trading, there's a question, Mohammad Saif, what type of trading is suitable for TradeVSA system? Today, we're going to be talking about a TradeVSA system. In short, it's as long as price and volume, it's suitable. At the end of the day, what do you want? How much money do you have? I think that's more important. It's not so much the thing is, as you grow a bit older, you're not that fast depending on your age and what is your goal. I have clients come to me, they say, Martin, I got 300,000 or 400,000 or I got $250,000. What should I do with this money? Then I got people come to me, Martin, I got 20,000 or I got $5,000. What do I do with it? And also look at your skills. Not everybody needs a Lamborghini. Not everybody needs a Mercedes. Not everybody needs a helicopter. Not everyone needs a yacht. You see my point? My point is that a lot of people just need a car, or maybe they need a Grab. But my expertise is to tell you, look, you don't need so much. Don't waste the money, right? Don't go and chase for all the indicators in there. Most important is to train the software, which is your brain. And today we find that best in trading is to upgrade your software too. So if you can upgrade your software, then that will be much, much better. And that's what we're saying. It's contra-day trading for Smart Robie because you got T+3. Yeah, if Stella, you want to do contra-trading, then use the premium alert. Okay, get in. The stocks has to move within 3 to 4 days or 5 days. If not, you need to cut. Okay, but I don't recommend for you to trade contra, because if you trade contra, means you don't have sufficient fund, and when you don't have sufficient fund in the longer run, you generally don't able to win consistently. So that's my advice to you. So something for you to think about. All right. So all right, now I'm going to bring in Arif in here because he's going to give you a snapshot of the momentum trading. Now take note, Arif is going to explain that these three things, momentum trading, CanSlim, and magic numbers, was from his previous talk that he did about 2 to 3 weeks ago. So we're just going to be summarizing how to combine it. I'm going to share with you how to combine all three together. These three powerful methods, both fundamental and technical and sector analysis. I know it's really technical in here. That's why I want to share with you this, how we do it in our course and how we do it when we invest, because we invest with our clients' money and our own money too. All right. So Arif, are you there? Are you ready? Can you turn on? Okay. I'm just going to give the stop sharing, and I'll give the thing to you. Zach, can you make Arif, can you share screen, Arif?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right, doing a sound check, testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. This is Alif here, and today's topic, what I'm going to talk about, is basically the summary of the topics that I have presented over the past couple of weeks on my Thursday mini-series talk. Okay, so if you want to know more about these methods, then you can, take a picture of this screen here. We have the QR code as well as the link there under the bit.ly, the link there for you to go on and have a look at either on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page, which is Martin T.F. Wong. Okay, so in this half an hour also, I'll try to compress everything within half an hour or 40 minutes. So it will be a lot of technical terms, but fret not, if let's say you want to know more in detail about these 3 trading strategies, more in depth, then you can just go on to these QR codes and have a look. Okay, right, so we shall begin. Right. Now, first things first, we will talk about CanSlim. Okay, so CanSlim basically is an acronym of 7 criteria which was created by William O'Neill, who himself is a student of the Wyckoff method. Right. So now the purpose of this CanSlim methodology is to select the best potential stock candidate that can generate good returns in the long run, and usually the holding period for this kind of people who are using the CanSlim method is between 15 months to up to 3 years. Okay, and the CanSlim method usually encourage users to observe the stock by doing a bit of a research about the company, as well as looking at the both fundamental and technical aspects as well. So combine this all, you have the 7 criteria which are CanSlim. And the acronyms for these 7 words are, number 1 is C, which is the current quarterly earnings, A, which is the annual earnings growth, N is for the new products, services, or management, and then S will be the supply and demand, L will be the leading and laggard, I will be the institutional sponsorship, and M will be the market indexes, okay, also market direction. So we will go through briefly all these 7 criteria for it. All right. So the first one we are looking at would be the C and A, which is the fundamental. All right. So C will be the current quarterly earnings. So what under these quarterly earnings is that a higher EPS means that the company is making profit, and when the companies are making consistent report for the last or at least 2 quarters in a row, and then the share price will start to move or even skyrocket by usually around 2 or 3 digit percentage during a longer period of time. So what normally they look at under these quarterly earnings is, number 1 is that the quarterly earnings of that report, let's say for the March, the recently we have, which is the second quarter for 2020, has to be better than the previous year's EPS of the same period. So which means, let's say for this recent period, which is the second quarter of 2020 compared to the second quarter of 2019, the current one has to be at least better than compared to the previous years of the same period EPS. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, then they will look at the forecast for the EPS. Usually they will expect the forecast for future EPS to be positive, and because you expect that the growing sales will fuel the increase in the EPS. Okay, and as quarterly earnings is based on company revenue, normally what happens is that the EPS outcome can be easily manipulated. So the users of CanSlim, normally they need to be careful when they detect one of these signs. There are 4 signs that under summary would be the number 1, a large sales increase but a low EPS. Number 2, a one-time gain. Okay, in the previous quarters, you see there's only one-time gain, positive ones, and then the rest will be just on the negative quarterly reports. And number 3 will be there's a cost-cutting measures despite there's a growing revenue in the company. So which means could be that there is some sort of financial manipulation within the company. And last but not least is the declining EPS results over the last 2 previous quarters. Okay, you do not want to shortlist those companies if you see there's a decline in their reportings. Okay, and then we go on to the annual earnings. So for the annual earnings here, they will look at usually a strong annual EPS, which consists of a few combination of all the quarterly reports earnings, okay, and you want to see is a solid growth that makes the stock a potential candidate for the selection. So the 4 things they will look at under the annual earnings would be normally the company annual EPS, which must be at least positive and increasing in the past 3 years. Now there are some school of under the CanSlim methodology where they allow at least out of the 3 years you have 1 year of a down or a negative, and the following year is up positive and much better compared to the last 2 years. But then you just make it simplified. We just focus on at least the past 3 years, the EPS and the annual EPS is increasing and on positive side. Okay. And then number 2, they will look at the annual return on equity, or ROE, which tells you how well managed or poorly managed the company is. And then number 3, they will look at the annual cash flow per share, which has to be greater than the actual EPS. And then number 4 would be the stability in EPS. This stability in EPS requires you to do some plotting by putting the quarterly earnings onto a graph. So the quarterly earnings has to be at least for around 5 years period of quarterly earnings. You plot it onto the graph, and then from there you draw a line, which is the trend line, to around the plots there to find where the trend is. Okay, and that's from that trend line there, between that line and the stable line there, you would see whether is there any these stocks, is it stable with steady earnings or not. Okay, it requires a lot of technicality for that, but it's quite useful for the CanSlim users. So normally in this method, what they avoid is PE ratio. They totally avoid it because it will eliminate potentially winning stock, and therefore it doesn't go harmony with the CanSlim methodology. So from this FA, then they will look next into the company side, which is new products, new services, or new management. Okay, so this one is pretty much straightforward, which they will look at, is there any new products offered by the company? Okay, or is there any of a new management which can bring in more positive energy into the company? All right. Or another one would be that the external factors would be that, is there any shortage of supply, or any price increase, or the introduction of new technology, or any other external factors that can have a positive impact towards the sector, particularly towards the company. So the good case in point that we can look at is the rubber glove. We have here a pandemic of a COVID, and then we have a high demand for the rubber gloves, and the supply not able to catch up with the demand, and therefore we have the increase in pricing. So this is somewhat what I meant by the news on the external conditions. Okay, then the last 4, which is SLIM, S-L-I-M, we look at the technical aspects of it. So first we look at would be the supply and demand. So supply and demand, what it means is that it looks at the movement of the price and volume, which using the law of supply and demand. And usually on the 3 criteria they will look at would be, number 1, that the stock that they select has to have a high liquidity and moderate price movement. And normally they will look into the small caps. Really only they will not look at those big or large cap stocks, because sometimes the movement of that company is doesn't have the momentum to go upwards. Okay, and then number 2 they will look at will be on companies that buy back their own stocks, which in turn will produce higher EPS. And then the third one, of course, would be the low corporate debt to equity ratio, because if the company has a low debt to equity ratio, then definitely the company is not vulnerable to any interest hikes along the way, which can affect their earnings. So under supply and demand, only will totally avoid stocks that has the lack of ability to move the price. Or those of you who have seen some of the stock, we call it like IGN stocks, which has a very unhealthy volume, and the price movement sometimes is just like dashes up and down, or just suddenly out of nowhere, just like one big white spread bar or down, white spread bar either up or down, and then just quiet after that. So those kind of stocks, you totally avoid it. Okay, and then the next under the technical analysis will be the leading or laggard. So within a sector, what you see is that there are many stocks under that one sector, and usually these stocks, you have some of them who are leading stocks that can lead the price movement of that sector. And usually when the price is declined, most likely due to a pullback, the first stock that will bounce back after that would be the leading stocks. Okay, so leading stocks, usually the one how he determine the leading stocks will be that the first 2 or 3 stocks that fulfill the fundamental side, the CA, and the background research of the company, which is the N. Okay, and of course at the same time they will use somewhat a one indicator, which is the RSI indicator of having to be 80 and above. Okay, and then they will look into also the institutional involvement or institutional sponsorship. Okay, so if you have institutional buyers inside there, or sometimes we call it like a smart money, like a syndicate, okay, when they buy in, then you know that this stock is something worth to look into it. Okay, but however, if this institutional players overwhelm the market, right? So which means that it will be not quite good for those who wants to enter in this kind of stocks, because any price movement will be by them already. Okay? Institutional buyers, they can just enter one time of a buy or sell order, then it will affect the price movement there. So it's a bit not, how should I put it, not very healthy for that stock. So normally if they have a lot of institutional buyers inside there, which overwhelms the market, then they will normally avoid that kind of stocks. Okay, and then the last but not least is the market direction. So this is where the technical analysis ability comes into play, and because you're basically looking at the market stages and time your entry accordingly so that you can enter the market when it's about to break out and to exit as the bull market starts to end. So only we use terms such as the market open weak or closes strong to describe the bullish or bearish market, right? And of course, being a student of Wyckoff method, he will also use that principle to time his entry and exits. But if you look at other methodologies there, they also involve others like chart patterns, the double top, double bottom, the cup and saucer, and so on. So there's a lot of things on the TA, but suffice to say, you just use on the price and volume action to time his entry and exit. Okay, so that's whole summary about the CanSlim methodology. So far, so good. You know, okay. So next what we have here is the magic formula. Okay, so magic formula is actually a modified version of Benjamin Graham's simple way methodology in selecting the bargain stocks. Okay, and it is simplified by one of his I would say his students or reader. Okay, which is Professor Joel Greenblatt. Right. So there are two methodologies used, very simple to use, which Joel Greenblatt used to generate the numbers to do his stock selection, okay, which is the earnings yield as well as the return on capital. Now, this process for under magic formula is very, very value investing type, okay, because it's just purely on the FA side they're looking at. They do not look on the technical side. As compared to CanSlim, you have both the fundamental, technical, as well as looking at the company background as well. So coming back to this magic formula is that how he derived the numbers would be, number one, we go on the earnings yield. So under the earnings yield here, what we have here is that you tabulate it by dividing EBIT with the enterprise value. So EBIT means is the earnings before interest and tax, and usually EBIT, it measures the company's profit including all incomes and expenses, which is either both operating or non-operating income, except for interest rates and income tax expenses. All right, and enterprise value here will be the total of market cap or market capitalization plus debts, company's debt, and plus the preferred shares under the company, and then minus out from here the total cash and cash equivalent. But the easiest way, okay, to get the calculation for the earnings yield is dividing 1 over PE. Okay, it's quite simple, straightforward, just 1 over PE. But if you are very much intrigued of knowing how to go about into the details, you can use that for this formula that I've just mentioned. Okay, if you want to know more, you can go on to the Facebook there or on our YouTube, which I talk about in detail the formulas on that. Okay, then number 2 would be the return on capital. All right, so the return on capital, the ROC, is tabulated by dividing again EBIT with the total of the net working capital and the net fixed assets. All right, so what constitute the net working capital and net fixed assets would be the number 1, net working capital will be the capital required to operate the company. So definitely you need some oil in order to make the gear to function. So the oil will be the money to move the gears or the machineries, which is your business. Okay, and the net fixed asset are the assets that cannot be converted easily into cash. Okay, so once you have all this information tabulated left and right, the company name, earnings yield, and the return on capital, all you need to do now is, after you crunch the numbers according to the formula, then you need to do a bit of sorting adjustment. Now, this the details or how you get these figures here, all right, you can go on to the company's annual financial report. They do not go on the quarterly basis, they look at the annual financial report. Even for like CanSlim also, normally they will prefer to look at the bigger picture. Quarterly earnings is one, but they look at annual income as well, okay, for a long-term basis. So once you have established the figures for earnings yield and the return on capital, the next step is to rank these stocks according to the highest earnings yield and then the highest return on capital. And then from here on, it's a bit of a judgmental decision you need to make, okay? Because by combining these two factors, all right, then that's where you get the magic formulas ranking from there. So the discretionary part is a bit, needs some time for you to practice, okay? So for example, if let's say the stock highest ranking is 15, okay, in terms of earnings yield, they are 15, but in terms of the return on capital is 25. Combine these two, this stock A is more higher compared to stock B, which is, if let's say they have a 190 earnings yield with a 50 rating for the return on capital, right? So there's a bit of mixed plus minus from there, right? So once they have already do the filtering already or do the ranking already, so what they do is that they will take the top 10 best stocks, okay, and select from there the best ones. And usually they will select maybe around 5 or 6 of the stocks, and then they will invest into it and hold for 1 year period, okay? And after the 1 year period, then they will do a review again. They do again the number crunching again on get the earnings yield and the return on capital. Then after that, if let's say still boleh jalan, they will keep it for another year. If they say cannot jalan, they will just sell off and then they buy another share from there. Okay, so under the magic formula is purely on FA side. Okay, and then next, the last one will be the momentum trading. Okay, so for the momentum trading, again, it's all about trading with the trend. Simply put, okay, is being credited to Richard Dryhouse. He has his own capital management, okay? But of course, on Richard Dryhouse's case, it's more on the momentum investment. Actually, it's the same, momentum investment, momentum trading. It's just that momentum investment, they look more on the fundamental side. They do a bit of number crunching a bit, and then they buy and hold for a longer period. But here I'm talking about would be the momentum trading, okay, which most of us have gone through, but sometimes we tend to forget about it, right? So basically, momentum trading, they take advantage of the market volatility, and what they do is they buy stocks that has gone high, anticipating that this stock will go even higher. So which means that we used to have like buy low and sell high, but momentum trading is you buy high and you sell higher. Okay, and every now and then, for those who are using the momentum trading and buy high and sell higher, what they do is sometimes along the way is they will switch to other stocks, okay, that is up, and then they buy to other stocks that is up and coming. All right. Okay. So there are 5 aspects towards under this momentum trading. Okay, number 1 would be the stock selection. In the stock selection, the momentum traders would choose liquid securities, which has healthy volume and also price movement. And usually, this healthy or liquid stocks, right, is the one that are reacting when the stocks are in the news, or what we call already as a goreng stories coming up already. All right, so why is it important to have these stocks which is related a bit to this goreng news is because this news will somewhat help to push the price higher in what we call, and this is what the momentum traders wants, because when they have the price to push up, then that's where they will, put this up in their radar already. And the focus will be on stocks, and they do not focus on warrants or those leverage products such as ETFs, leverage products, okay, because it doesn't follow the underlying assets there. So purely for here, they will usually focus on stocks level, okay. Then once you have the stock selection in already, the next one would be the risk control. And as part of the risk control, before or when making a trade, the trader must first have a strong emotion and patience, okay. You need to have these two quite strongly, because otherwise if you are weak, then you cannot make a proper trading, because if let's say you're quite emotional and when you see it on the on the market when the market opens at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, the price just come down already. You just exit too early, and then when the price jump up, came back up at around 4 o'clock, then you'll be feeling very sad. Or when the price starts to move up already, you sell, and then actually the price went up a bit more higher. So that's part of the risk control is you need to have a strong emotion, and you need to have a strong high level of patience, okay? Because otherwise, the general thing is that people will cut their profits faster but let their losses run. Okay, so we do not want to have that. You need to have a good risk control on this. Okay, and then the third one, once the stock has been selected, okay, the traders will then need to wait for the perfect timing to enter. And the best entry comes in the forms of news which will cause the price to start moving up. Okay, and this turn of event will usually set off a buying and selling signals, and observant trader would then know when to jump in. Not because of fear of missing or losing out or FOMO, It's just that because they see there's a nice pattern towards it, and this news is coming in to push the price, and they jump in to go in, all right? But they never chase a trade. They always see there's a potential towards it, and that's why they make the entry, okay? So at the same time, the trader will also need to determine their position, such as how many shares they are willing to buy and how long will be their holding period. Now, in the US context, we talk about, they have like intraday traders. As compared to Malaysia, intraday not so as exciting as the US market side. US market side, sometimes the price can go up, and you can gain a profit on the same day within 10 or 20%. So coming back to here is that intraday traders would normally see the bid and ask spread, okay? And then when there's a potential towards it, or when there's a wide spread there, that's where they make a trade there. But normally they will trade based on a very large position, because they are in and out quite fast. They have to bear in mind that they also need to pay the commission rates every time they come in and exit. Right now, of course, you have zero commission now. You have like the Robinhood, and then you have the TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab, all are going towards the zero commission for the US stock there. Okay, but then again, the number of size when they want to go in and out for intraday, they need to have a very big large position for them to enter, because with large position, you in and out, then you make profit from there. Can you imagine if, let's say, you enter the stock for intraday, you just enter, the difference between 1,000 and 10,000 ringgit, do you think that 1,000 ringgit, the profit that you get is greater than the 10,000, or 10,000 is greater than 1,000? Obviously, will be the 10,000 is more than the 1,000 there. Okay, although we see the percentage is the same, but because of wanting to get good returns, which, or in other words, it's like, is the effort versus result. The result will get is compensate with your effort. Then that's why they always go on the bigger, large positions when they enter. Okay, and when the price has already reached the peak already, they entered and the price move up has already reached the peak already. Normally, these traders, what they do, they will sell everything and either wait or jump onto the next stock. Okay. However, if the trader feels that the price has a potential to go up higher, they will take a partial profit and they leave the remaining for the next stock there to run up higher. If they say it doesn't run up that high, they will just cut and exit from there, okay, and finish from there. And then they repeat the cycle again and again and again, right? So, yeah, I think plus minus around 30 minutes also for the whole presentation. Okay, so what we have here is the summary of the three methods, all right, which I have somewhat compressed it for you in 30 minutes or less, I hope so. We talk about the CanSlim, which is a combination of the FA, TA, and a company background check, okay, combination of fundamental, technical, and company background check. It requires a lot of research to be done, okay. This is what my observation is. This guy Richard O'Neill or William O'Neill, he has his own company which is called William O'Neill and Co. He has one in the US and one in India. And if I find that if you want to use the CanSlim methodology and you have his company in that country, then it should be no problem for you to use it. But for Malaysia side, because we don't have William O'Neill and Co. in Malaysia, okay, so far I see that's quite a bit tough to implement the strategies inside here, okay, but Nonetheless, you can try and do a bit of testing on that. Okay, but again, you require a lot of research there. If those companies are those countries you're going in, like India and also in the US, you just have buy their reports. Okay, view through it, and it basically has do most of the research for you. Really, just need to select according to the CanSlim method, and should be no problem. But for CanSlim methodology, it's more of buy and hold for the long-term period. Remember, 15 months to 3 years. Okay. And then the next one will be the magic formula. For magic formula is purely on FA base, and they are using the two parameters, which is the earnings yield and also the return on capital. Okay, it's a good for those who are looking for value investing, right? Not much of involving a lot of technicals such as CanSlim. Okay, and usually the holding period is around 1 year. Right, so that's where they will see if there's a company annual report come out. After that, then they will see, okay, boleh jalan, then they'll come in and buy and they go for 1 year. And then they see the next company annual report, boleh jalan lagi, then they hold it again. If not, then they will just exit and move the funds to another stocks. Okay, and then the last but not least would be the momentum trading. It can be either FA or TA depending on what you want to use, but I believe for most of our Malaysian and our viewers here, we prefer on the technical analysis. Okay, we like to come buy based on the price at low and sell when the price is high. Okay, FA wise is just agak-agak, oh, this company is good, I think they can already. This is a very common sense thing we can buy. So, you know, they're based on TA, all right? And they will buy high, and usually they will buy high and sell higher. And this is normally for a mid or to a long-term holding period, okay? So momentum trading can be also 1 year, but if you're doing for trading and you just have a specific target profits there, you get like around 20 or 30%, you exit and you just move on to others, right? It's like going from sectors to sectors, okay? So, all right, I think I have summarized all of these three in this very short period of time. Again, if you want to know more about this individual trading ideas, the trading methodologies here, okay, you can just log on, go to our FB page at Martin TF Wong, and you can look for this. Okay, I put the name there, Momentum Trading, Magic Formula, and CanSlim. Just look at them, you know, and you get a more detailed understanding of how does this numbers work. And there's some parameters inside there as well for those who are for the Malaysia on the parameters set by them on the US market, and also for some on the Malaysian market there. Okay, so you can benefit from that and try it out. And then maybe, who knows, you can let me know that, hey, it does work on this methodology, but I fine-tune it a bit. So good, just share with me, right? So the final question now remains, now we have learned all these three methodologies, right? So if you want to combine it together, can you combine it together to get up the all these three methods to get the best trading edge for us? Okay, so the answer will be, the answer will be is that Martin has the answer. Okay, so Martin, back to you.
Yes, thank you for the good summary that Arif done. Okay, and I think that's pretty good. I think the most really challenging for a lot of, can you all hear me? Just want to do a sound check, please, if you all can hear me. Just type if you can hear me, and I'm going to share back screen here. Right. Just let me know if you can hear me or not. All right. So I think one of the real challenge in a lot of this so-called arena of new technique and new technology is the ability to really combine it all. I think very important for us, sounds okay, good. I think what we have done over the past is to take what is best. You know, I suppose that's one of our forte, able to do that and able to come to you and say, look, this method worked in US, we can apply it in here. After all, that's how the technology works. If you look at it, a lot of things that have already been working in US, like the sector rotational play, which we advocate a lot of our members in here now. Now, why are we doing this? I know it is somehow technical. Some of you just want to, hey, what share to buy today? What share to buy tomorrow? But that is only on the surface. If you go a bit deeper, many of you have along the line, you need to know why it happened. If you just want a share to buy, but you do not know what one of the members just said, the journey, why the share behave it is, then you know you're not going to make money in the long run. I like you also like to make money too, right? Having said that, but it's important to understand And this is where we come and share with you the technology behind it. So now you can see my screen, right? I'm just going to go on and summarize what Arif just mentioned in here, all right? So you can see, for start, the three methodology by Richard Dreyfuss, William O'Neill, and Joey Greenblatt. I'll tell you, even understanding these three person, it took us a while to really go, but I've been practicing some of these. I find maybe 20 to 30% of the things you can do. Let's start with CanSlim first. This fella up here, right? You can see my screen in here. CanSlim talk about CanSlim. Okay, so C is, just remember, current, new, stock, leading, and Coach Arif did highlight what can be done and what cannot be done about what we have seen. Okay, then we go on to Richard Dreyfuss, the momentum trading. Yes, it makes a lot of sense in here. Now, if you want, you can take a picture of this one, pretty much summarize, or the previous picture, summarize what we talk about in here. The momentum trading, okay? The momentum trading talk about two things. We want to be in a market that is volatile, right? Right now, the market is volatile, but importantly, which sector, especially in the Malaysian context, right? The rubber glove, those of you listening right now, is the rubber glove jalan? No? Okay, if you think rubber glove jalan, just type rubber jalan or rubber tak jalan. Okay, just type it in there, so at least I know you are already listening and want to apply this. So the market volatility is important. Then next, you want to apply on institutional directional, because what Coach Arif said, these are really for a long term, and we want that to work. All right. So that is why we want to do this too. And so finally, the magic numbers. The magic numbers is looking in terms of earnings yield and return on capital. So if you look at everything, all this, finally you combine. Let me just bring my pen here. Right? You have the CanSlim 1, then you have the momentum trading 2, and then you have the magic. If you combine all these three, this actually gives to a new trading methodology. Used to be standalone. It's what we call, and I find something we already been doing right now, teaching our members, and that's why we are here sharing with you the best in this, what we call the value momentum trading. Okay, value momentum trading. Now the trading, in a sense, is can be short term. When we short term, we talk about 3 to 4 weeks, just before the earnings comes out. Then at least you know why the market do what it does. Okay, or we can do. What's the other thing we can do is looking at the market, the price, the setup in here. Then the next thing we want to do is also look at the magic numbers, okay? The magic number will tell us that we make sure if we select, we want a stock to select based on fundamental. No doubt, you can trade on speculative trading too, which is we have seen in the small cap stocks right now in the KLSE market, a lot of small cap stocks. Then you just go on momentum trading, right? This you don't need to know, this you don't need to know. Shorter term, that's fine. But for those of you who has a longer term, like Pharma jalan, right? Belakang jalan. That's right. Rubber glove can make good income, but tak jalan. That's true. And that's what the whole point is. So those of you who's been listening for, we want you to benefit. I think that's the whole point why we're saying. We're just not going to tell you why. We want to give you the methodology behind it. And when you're ready to upgrade. Because if you go and listen to other sifu, they will tell you this and that, a lot of talk and hearsay, but I want you to become a smarter. I think the difference between a skilled investor and the unskilled investor, or a skilled trader and unskilled trader, they continue to learn. And this is what we hope to do with you too. All right. So from then onwards, you will get, let me just bring this up, all right? Here, the value momentum. So value momentum, if you look at it, there's only 3 ways to look at this. Fairly simple and, going objectively here is to look at the right timing, the right stocks fundamental, and the right cost. It's very important. Now, why the right cost is important? Let's say you're on the rubber glove, and then suddenly now you get out from the rubber glove, or some of you still holding the rubber glove. Because you're riding, like just many of saying, belakang tak jalan, rubber glove tak jalan, right? Isn't it correct? So glove tak jalan, so why are you sitting on the same horse? So you need to get off and ride the horse. And this is just a lot of academic research that we've done with the value momentum investing. So you will really understand what we talk about, the magic numbers, the earning yields, and the return on capital for that matter. All right. So we're going to break it down for you very easy in something that we do. Is this okay so far? If it's okay so far, type 5. Why we are trying to do this? Combine all 3 to a new method called value momentum trading. Just type 5 if you think this is correct. Okay. Okay, let's move on. So if you look at the three axis, we call it the three dimension, okay? The momentum trading, okay? We have the, let me just bring the pen out. We have the momentum trading, okay? This is the momentum trading. This is the A, this is the CanSlim B, and this is the C, all right? So we build up into three axis. Again, very scientific. That's how I've been trained by my Sifu engineering background, engineering background, okay? Going to mathematicals, okay? So we look at it, you have the CanSlim here, okay? You have the momentum, three axis, you have the, let's say this will be your X, okay? Y and Z. You all remember this one, X, Y, Z? Three dimension, isn't it? Right? How many remember this X, Y, Z? Okay. So you have the CanSlim, you have the magic number, and your momentum trading, breaking up into three dimensions, so you can see it better. So what we want to do right from here on is to really break into the value momentum trading, CanSlim, and we really apply right now for us, easy to use. All right. So what we do is on the CanSlim side, we actually replace by sector analysis, which is the next coach Zach is going to talk about. So this is where our proprietary methods, the Pentagon guided, the sector analysis and the stock selection. Because what is been academic, we apply to today, so you can use it, next week. That's what that's on the CanSlim slide, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do this later on. Then also on the momentum trading, we talk about Pentagon guided, we talk about the market structure, right, which is stage 1, stage 2, where you want to be in, and also the setup, okay, which is the hence we're knowing the setup. Now that you selected the right stock, let's say from what we learned from CanSlim and stock selection in here, you want to go on. And then finally, the magic numbers is using the Robie, FA ratings. This is where the PE and the ROE comes in. So you can see what we have learned all this while. Those of you who have been following some time, this makes it very simple. Am I right? We use Robie day to day. Some of you already been using Robie. Now we just add on the momentum, and then we add on to the sector analysis. So finally, you get the full picture. Just like the three Sifu was talking about, William O'Neill, Richard Dreyfuss. So we make it simple for you in all these three dimensions. Is this what you're looking for? If this is what you're looking for, type 1. Okay, type 1, this is what we are looking for. Make it very simple. So you could learn about the Robie rating, right? Just type 1, so at least I know that this is something you're looking for the FA rate. Because some of you are just trading right now. If you're just trading, use the momentum trading here. Okay, let me just bring up that part here. Okay, just use the momentum trading side here. This is the part that you want to be talking about. Then that's good enough. Don't go for the Robie FA ratings, and then don't go for the CanSlim. Focus on momentum trading first. Get this right first. This is like your kung fu lah. Maybe you learn karate first. Then later on, you learn mixed art. If you look at Keanu Reeves, one of my favorite movie stars, the movie John Wick. How many of you like the movie John Wick? If you like the movie John Wick, type John Wick. At least I know. See, John Wick, like it or not, it's Keanu Reeves. He learned Wushu when he starred in the movie Matrix. They're going to reshoot Matrix again. Matrix 4 is waiting for that one. Then he go and learn some Korean jitsu or whatever the case. Then he learned mixed martial art. Remember the John Wick where he learned how to twist and turn, learn how to shoot a gun. Similarly, all of you, like it or not, eventually when you have money, right, you need to know how to invest. If you don't, you put it in fixed deposit, mati lah, or you listen to rumor, also mati lah. Long run lah, short run, yes, you will make money. That's why you're here, isn't it? You're here to learn that you want to learn about this, but of course, you want to learn it something for free. No problem. That's why we are sharing with you. So you learn the Pentagon, you learn the market structure with the Robie and PE. So you learn at one time momentum trading first, then I'm going to move on to the CanSlim. I'll learn about the sector, then the stock screener, or some of you learn stock screener and let's move on around this tree. So that's what I'm going to say. All right. John Wick is the bomb. Yeah, that's right. My favorite John Wick. Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to the right timing in here, I'm going to go through piece by piece. Right timing, what do we talk about the right timing part? So the right timing in here, we're talking using the Pentagon Guider, just like using the Robie, right? Pentagon Guider, they have the trending stock. We want to be in the early stage one. Remember, I talked about market structure just now, right? If you don't know what is market structure, catch some of the videos that we have in our YouTube. It's totally free. If not, you can join when you're ready, or if you heard it before, you want to join our masterclass, maybe something I can talk about it. Again, it's optional in here. You don't have to talk about, but many of our members who wanted to upgrade, they really benefit. So we talk about early stage 1 and middle or stage 2, because sometimes the stock already run, remember the momentum. So we talk about mid stage 2. Then the next one is the right stock fundamental. The right stock fundamental is important. We look at two things: growth stock and turnaround stock. Now, what is turnaround stock? Anybody would know what is a turnaround stock? Okay, I'll give you an example. Is AirAsia a turnaround stock? If you think AirAsia is a turnaround stock, type AirAsia. Or if you think AirAsia tak boleh jalan ni, mati keras, you type mati keras. Okay, AirAsia, then I'll know it's a turnaround. If you think mati keras cannot come back already, then it's cannot come back. That's what we talk about turnaround. All right, because that's, so you understand when you look at, hey, is this a turnaround company? Or next you talk about growth share. You want to invest on growth share, or you just go purely on trading. Never mind, I just buy here. I mean, given a choice, you have AirAsia, or you have Penta, or you have oil and gas. Let's say oil and gas right now, we're talking about Bumi Amanda. Okay, so Bumi Amanda is a growth, because now we are seeing oil and gas moving up higher, right? Remember, petrol station is going to increase, right, by 1 cent. So that tells you the petrol price is going up, okay? Yeah, AA survived, but this going to, yeah. So good. So Derek is saying that this is quite true. So if AirAsia is going to be a turnaround stock, then the next we're saying, don't overpay the PE. Don't overpay the PE, the price earning. The price earning, you don't want to be overpaying. So that's why we talk about the right fundamental stock. Or if you don't want the right fundamental, just skip it. Just go straight to the trade setup, the charts. Then we talk about the right horse. Okay. So the right horse, then we talk about the holding period. How long you want to hold it for? Some of you already said T plus 3, right? T plus 3. You see, waiting for the border to open at Chibeng. We already found it today already, right? The Tan Sri Muhyiddin said end of the year, 31st of December. I think Tony Fernandez probably need another 1 more billion, man. Which means from September, October, November, December, I'm waiting to go out for my holiday. I already booked to go to ASEAN country for holiday, at least somewhere nearby, Thailand, Bali, or whatever, or maybe Cambodia, not too far away, because I want to service you guys too. So again, this is a problem for AirAsia. So you can see AirAsia will take another hit because of the Tan Sri Muhyiddin. What do you think? Do I say this makes sense or not? Because of the RMCO, AirAsia will take another hit on Monday. So again, this is a turnaround. All right. So then we go on to the right horse, which is a holding period. How long you want to hold it for? There was a question, someone turned around, but long time. That's right, soon. So then we talk about the holding period. How long you want to hold a particular stock if this is the right horse? Right? And now a good example, someone sent me, said, Martin, I want to buy gold. And this is from our mentor. I hope he can listen this to at least after 2 Christmas. Not so bad. PS soon said that at least we have to wait for 2 more Christmas. Okay, but do know, on the COVID-19 talk that I did 2 weeks ago, if not, go to YouTube, check out that COVID talk. I talk about likely the COVID-19 will likely to be finished. The COVID-19 2021 and 2021. That's right. So this is important. At least if you're coming out to plan for your investment, right, in the horizon, you at least when you listen to me, I give you all the facts. You learn how to plan, and you want to take care of yourself and your family, because at the end of it, we have so many things happening inside there. We want to create multi-streams of income. Am I correct, right? Which I'm doing right now too, right? Investing in the market, getting some gold, doing other things in here. You want to do the same for yourself. So in here, holding period is important. Then we talk about sector analysis, okay? And then finally, benchmark to the KLCI. So is the KLCI falling a lot more? Then we want to stay out. Maybe we want to look at the US side, right? And that's one of the things that this gentleman, one of our members who came from the masterclass, he said, look, Martin, I heard what you say about the gold. I want to buy some gold. How long is my holding period? So this is where I talk about the holding period. If you're going to get gold, you need to hold at least 1 year, okay? Hold it for 1 year, and you should see some substantial movement on that one. But there will be volatility, but you will enjoy some of those reward too. If you think what I say this makes sense, type gold. Okay, for example, that's why the holding period is there. Gold, like it or not, it's a right horse right now. Okay, because of the COVID-19. Okay, just type it in there. What do you think? Okay, so this is how we want to break it down for you in here. Okay. So that's how we make money, ladies and gentlemen, by knowing the right timing, the right stock, and the right horse. So we want to make it very impactful for even you take a photo of a screenshot of this, put in your photo when you have time, just review to what we talk about value momentum trading. It's this three segments: right horse, right stock fundamental, and right timing in there. Right now, later on, my next speaker will come in. Zach is just going to talk about stocks, just talking about stocks, where we're going to use the TradeVSA screener. Now, the other last thing is talk about the right horse is our sector screener, which he will show you too, the sector screener and the TradeVSA. Okay, so this is one example of the sector screener. Next slide that you see is the TradeVSA screener that we have. So we have the energy, the technology, the property. So we start from the screener side. We know technology, right? Then we know what stock one buy. You want to buy JF Tech, you want to buy Great Tech, or you want to buy Penta. Those are the popular one. Then you scroll down to the bottom one, the OpenSys, right? There's a lot of these stocks. But when you understand the value momentum strategy right now, you will know, yes, I can buy Penta, I can buy gold, I can buy pharma, right? Because why? If you look at it right now in the healthcare, last week, okay, the green one that you see here, now if you can see me, green is last week momentum. This week, healthcare turun. Okay, you can see it turun. Right now, we have technology. That's why we say property and energy is coming soon. So nobody talks about this. So you guys are the first time hearing it. We've what we call the sector rotation, rotating out. Of course, the masterclass members already know about this, which I already talk about them and telling them how to rotate out, looking those shares. Follow Zach at 9:30. He will be the next speaker coming up. Okay, it's already 3 o'clock. I want to move on because I want to let you guys off for your family moment. But I think if the information here is good, right? If the information what is good, give me a thumbs up. My team and us are doing a good job in here. Okay. Okay, let's move on. So finally, one way to apply the value momentum, I'm going to give you another important chart, another bonus chart is how to exit, okay? When the market, when to sell, okay, using the value momentum method. Do you think you want to know how to sell? You know how to sell? Just type how to sell, okay? If you type how to sell, I will share with you how to sell this. Applying the value momentum trading for exiting. You know, in case if the market were to like what you see inside here, learning how to sell, okay? So in here, first, you got to have a plan, okay? What is your plan or the trade? Let's say, for example, you buy gold. Is the gold still going up or has the trend changed? Those are the things, of course, if you don't know how to do it, you can text me. I'll be happy to help you. The trade, you must have a trade. So if you look at the next one, 1.1, consider all conditions. If the market were to go down, except price, sometimes price will go down, but the condition don't change. Still look at all the market conditions, look at the sectors. This is why we talk about the value momentum, we talk about CanSlim, we talk about this, but just don't look at price. People always say, Martin, price drop already. How should I exit? This is a usual thing we get a lot. So we tell some of the members, look at the market condition, look at the trade setup, then you decide whether you want to exit or not. So that's part of the value momentum trading strategy, okay? Then next is, what was your original trading plan, right? What was original trade? It's always thing. If I buy gold now, let's say if I buy Penta right now, it is to capitalize on 5G, which is my next talk this coming Wednesday. So make sure you catch me too, okay? So this will be a continuation of talk that we do every week to get you guys updated and up to speed. Eventually, when you listen enough, you will be better than a lot of analysts out there. I can guarantee you that. And guess what? It's all absolutely free. So then 1.2, is there, 1.3, is there another horse to ride? Okay. All right, 1.3, is there another horse to ride? Okay, then third one, did it hit my profit target? Okay, so we want to have some bit of profit target. So because if you find another horse which is better, let's say you bought gold, okay, or you bought Penta, or you bought rubber glove, okay, and rubber glove tak jalan. Then you say, you saw something else moving. Then you're going to ask, how should I sit on this rubber glove or not? Like many of you, tak jalan, isn't it? So this is why this methodology has to be upfront stated to you too, okay? It had to be stated out front to you. So do I have another horse to ride? So if you are just listening here, listening there, then you don't have much options there, because you have to ask wherever you listen, that Sifu, whichever they are, have to like tell you where to move from there. So that's why it's important. We want to skill it, teach you how to have that knowledge. And through the tools that we have, some of them are free, some of them are premium. You decide what's suitable for you in here. All right, let's move on to the next one. And then finally, 1.4 is another way to sell is that did it close below the major support level observed over weeks. Right now, our KLCI, we are talking at least 1500. If we do break that level, hell will broke loose. But we went down, 25 points down inside. That's not very good too. It could be a shakeout, but it could be further dropping into. So close below the major support level is important. So that's why you need to learn about technicals too, right? And then last one, if not, the red pentagon on a weekly basis. Use the weekly basis for the chart. Look at the KLCI, look at the individual stocks. If you're buying Penta, you're buying JF Tech, if you're buying Top Glove, you're buying Hata, you're buying Kosan. Look at all those things. But if you have a very shorter time frame, you are just trading intraday, like one of the person who just mentioned in there, T+3, then you don't need to look at the weekly. You need to have a profit target. You need to have the setup. Then you want to exit. So this is just a very quick example of applying value momentum trading for exiting. Okay. So let's go on to next, all right? And next, I'm going to bring in my one of our coaches, Zach. Zach, you ready, Zach? And he's going to share with you some momentum stocks for next week, as well to share with you the industrial screener that we use, part of our value momentum trading. Is that okay? All right, we got Zach in here. So I'm just going to stop sharing, and later I'll come back and do a summary for you guys, okay?
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you Martin and thank you Alif. So thanks for those that who are watching from this live Facebook over here. So let me know, is my sounds coming okay before we start? Okay, so I think just now Alif has shown some methods to look for some momentum counters, and also Martin has shown you the charts that probably I'll share it again on how we look for some potential trades moving forward. Okay, so of course, for those that I think a lot of people now kind of focusing a lot for gold counters. Okay, I think it's like Moy Property, nice for Tome, Orion. Okay, kind of very good setup currently. And if you look into the gold counters, okay, I just wanted to share the gold counter because I think moving forward we have a slight of very good momentum here. It's currently building a very nice support. Okay, so spring, and then spring. So actually, if you learn about volume spread analysis, you can actually use it in any chart. Okay, that's come with volume. Okay, but it's okay. Today, not going to focus on the gold itself only. So because the things that usually I like to do is I like to trade something is not that hot in the market. Okay, but it comes with slightly strength in the background. Okay, so that's where that I can enjoy the first breakout. Or once the momentum is here, we can always enjoy the first breakout. I think like this week, if you look into this week itself, the waxing is somehow in a pretty good teams. Okay, and of course counters like XOX, all this is pretty good hot. Okay, but things that were hot, of course, easy to manipulate and trap all these uninformed traders. So hopefully some of you don't trap in XOX then, okay? Because I think some of my friends do trap in XOX after the announcement. Okay, so okay, now let's see here again. Okay, this is the Bursa sector analysis that I think Martin showed you what it means with this. Of course, for member can access to this. So the dark color actually represent for this week, and the light green colors representing for the past week. Of course, energy is reducing. Now technology also. Okay, now I think technology mostly are doing some pullbacks. Okay, so make sure you watch closely on the green panel signal. I think Inari somehow showed a very nice signals yesterday. Okay, now the one that I really interested is of course construction. Okay, so if you look into this chart, it's like immediately know that okay, from last week construction actually is in negative territory, and now this week is somehow going into a positive territory. Okay, now healthcare is the one that is still down. Okay, so I think some of them really started to show some strength, but it doesn't show the momentum yet. Okay, so that's why I'm not going to look into at the healthcare this moment. Now the other one that of course my focus is that property. I think Martin do share just now property. Why? Because they are in top 3 sectors. Okay, currently based on this week itself, and they are growing, which means that this tells me that potentially they still can move a little bit more. Okay, moving forward because property is not that hot. Okay, in the market currently, not much people talk about property. So whenever not much people talk about it, usually it's the one that easy for pick up. Like right, for example, all the timber, all the wood counters a few weeks ago, or maybe all the gold counters a few weeks ago. some of them are pretty quiet, right? So okay, now let's focus some of these counters. Maybe if I got time, I look into both sectors. Go to this KLSE sector screeners. I think for construction, okay, I got a few. For those that who following us in the Telegram channels too, I do share a few of the counters that you can monitor. Of course, Zealand finally it breaks, okay, after we waited for almost a month, I believe, together with our members. Okay, let's take a look at Zealand. Now, somehow, when it started to break, right, of course, this bar here, people started to text me, or maybe some members started to ask me, is it time to buy or not for Zealand? But for me, I'm actually selling partially. Okay, it's not buying anymore. Okay, so when you want to buy somehow, you know, your risk is very low. Okay, but you have to come with sound strength first. Okay, so that's why we always want to check is the stocks is good for us to look into or not. Okay, so of course, a pretty nice one if you look in the chart here. Okay, spring holding up nicely. Okay, with the green pentagons here. Now breakout. Okay, this is a big breakout with 30%. Okay, so of course you don't ask me again whether I can buy or not after 33%. So most of the time I say I won't. Okay, I'm not that interested when it break up. Okay, unless it make a very nice pullback stand. So for those that want to enter for these trade setups, you can wait for the next pullback. Okay, so if you look into overall in this weekly chart here, I still think that Zealand still got lots of to offer. Okay, still got lots of room to move moving forward. But you have to get yourself a good price. Okay, unless you say that I don't mind. Okay, being stuck for 1 month, 2 months. Okay, 30% now pulling back to negative 20%. You don't mind that, so you can look for it. Okay, you can look for it. But I always like to do some quick short-term trading. So that's why each of these price is very important for. Okay, but of course Zealand is already breakout. Okay, nothing much to share about here. We look for something that similar with Zealand, but haven't really break the resistance yet. Okay, so this is our objective, right? I think cycle also break above. Okay, nothing much to share. Okay, let's try Fajar Baru. Okay, I think Fajar Baru also break, right? Okay, we want to look for something that is not break yet. Okay, but it's still showing a strength. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, I think this is good. So this one, yeah, actually it already started to move. Okay, since last month, but now it seems going to a consolidation. Okay, so going some reaccumulation. What we have here? Okay, what we have here? Okay, of course the strength is still there with the green pentagons to tell us that trend over is still pretty good. Springs bar holding with 2 test bar. Okay, so what maybe if you want to enter for this trade, you can have a wider stop loss a bit. Okay, to put as springs over here. Now most of the time I will calculate what's the risk that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's say your risk to reward is not that good. Okay, then you might want to consider the others. Okay, for example here, okay, I was going about 9%. Okay, so still okay for me. Now let's look into the previous resistance area. Now if not, I put into weekly chart. So sometimes using weekly chart is easier for me to check, you know, is the breakout is genuine or not? Okay, by looking at the volume, I think yes, it's pretty good. The volume, everything is pretty good. But the weekly chart here got one problem. There's one gaps over here on this small gaps on the down bar here. Okay, so this will serve your resistance. So calculate yourself. Okay, your risk to reward, is it worth for you to trade or not? Okay, now Zilla is pretty good. Okay, there's another one also. I think yeah. Zcon is the one that I'm looking next. Okay, so Zcon is pretty good too. Let's take a look at Zcon. Okay, so over here, okay, it seems like going to hit the resistance pretty soon, but the volume, everything is pretty nice. Okay, to watch. So let's look into weekly chart. So most of the time, weekly chart is to tell us that okay, you know, if the volume is healthy, can we look for a trade from here? Okay, where's the direction moving forward? Okay, so one thing is that if you look into this Zcon, okay, based on this weekly chart, okay, we do have volumes. Okay, so again, what happens to this volume? Volume is the one that change the trend, change the direction. So, and if you notice also, right, so this all these down bar volumes, okay, actually is come with pretty low volume. Okay, again, what this means? Okay, it means that the selling volume is pretty low. Okay, and seems like this is like a shakeout in my opinions, okay, for me. So for second thing is that once we identify the volume, everything is healthy, okay, the trend, everything is good. Now we want to check, are we trading in the right support resistance? Okay, so immediately that combat tension is this gaps here, okay, based on this B chart. So this immediately when you draw this line, you got your shakeout area. Okay, so for members, hopefully you all sometime will join my money training. I do talk about this type of shakeout patterns, which is very important because shakeout patterns actually tells that is the trend, is the chart currently healthy or not. Okay, now healthy chart should come with shakeout, especially during accumulation or reaccumulation. Okay, so when we trade based on the shakeout patterns, okay, most of the time we are exposed to a very low risk. Okay, so this is the one weekly chart that tells me that yes, I got a shakeup. Okay, and subsequently with NS and Springs too. Now the weekly chart I think is okay based on the overall time frame here. Now if you move into the daily chart, okay, so again nicely supported well, and then hopefully okay next week you got a very good opportunity to enter at the very good price. Okay, at a very good price. So here overall the trend still good. Okay, it's haven't really break up yet like Zealand. Okay, like Zealand. So let's see. Okay, the volume is there already. Okay, so once you break up, you have a very nice momentum. Okay, now Zealand you have to apply different strategies in my opinion. Okay, what you're going to do for Zealand is that you wait for the next pullback to enter. Okay, it's still got momentum, no doubt. It's still got momentum, but the current entry price is slightly a bit risky in my opinion. So I still prefer to look for others. Okay, now let's try Binapuri. Okay, everything so far okay so far. You understand what I'm trying to explain over here using the sectors. Then we look into screeners and then we look for the trades, right? Members, is it okay? Please type 8 if you are okay. Everything is fine. Now Binapuri also. Okay, let's see. The breakout the other day is 18%. So 18% still okay lah. Huh? Zealand is like 30%. Okay, so 18% still fine. It's still pretty close to the previous supports. Previous resistance. Volume on yesterday closing somehow is still pretty high. Okay, so I think that it will make another pullbacks. Okay, now this is the one that we are looking for. Okay, rather than you want to chase something like XOX, which is covering a very hot news, right? So the hot, I mean, stocks that are very hot tends to manipulate easier. Okay, so most of the time, all the uninformed trader will get trapped easier. Okay, stocks that are very quiet but come with sound of strength is the one that do telling you that okay, something is going on. Okay, something is going on. And then the trend is not end yet. Okay, the thing is not end yet. Now until now, Huaan. Okay, for those that of course Huaan is from oil and gas. Okay, energy sectors. Okay, I don't know how many of you do follow me on this Huaan trades. Okay, but also we wait around like a month together with Zealand's there. And so far, I don't think there's any specific news, okay, hot news regarding Huaan. Okay, so seems like it tells me that before the news release, something might be going on. Okay, so which means that potentially they will still continue to break up, but they will do another reaccumulation again. Okay, now let's go back to Binapuri. Okay, I kind of like Binapuri chart also. So Binapuri and Zikon. Okay, probably is the next one I'm going to aim next. Okay, for next week. But of course, for Binapuri, slightly a bit higher. Okay, current price. So I was waiting for them to make a pretty nice pullback, and I'm going to enter safely at support level. Just look into the volume. It's pretty fantastic. Okay, so look into the weekly chart. So again, what I'm trying to say here is that always refer to the volume. Okay, so again, I open up back to 2021. Just look into volume for this week. Okay, so this is a pretty good volume, fantastic volume that I believe that potentially they can change the trend from here. Okay, so but again, doesn't mean anything that we talk about here is sure for 100%. I think it's 100%. Okay, in trading. Okay, make sure when you trade, come with your rules. Okay, you follow your rules. Like for me, I always don't have to just break up. Okay, if the price is right for me, my risk reward is right for me, I just going to execute it. Okay, simple as that. Okay, we look into sectors, but of course you don't look into those boring counters. Okay, at least you trade something is that coming with some of these momentum counters. Okay, at least you need to wait that long, right? So okay, yes, I think I covered for Zila and Binapuri, two of the counters that easier to study the chart. Okay, let's try whole hub. Previously pretty hot too, but seems like it's very quiet recently too. I haven't really followed whole hub. Okay, but okay, now I know why I didn't follow whole hub. Okay. First of all, I don't have any green pentagons there. And 24 is closing. This is obviously an downtrend charts, and this is the inverse pullback patterns. Okay, so if I want to trade, okay, I will only trade, okay, when the price closes above the UT bar. Okay, the reason is pretty simple. I look into weakness signals. Okay, weakness signal, which means that the chart is the particular level. Okay, a lot of people are selling it. Okay, and I want the bar to cross above the level to ensure that the buy is taking over than the sellers. Okay, so that's why. Okay, not at this moment. Okay, hold up, not at this moment. Okay, let's try Nadi. Okay, if you follow some of my trades, some of it might be a bit boring, because anyway, I like this kind of quiet counters most of the time. Okay, no trade setups. Okay, those trades. If there's no trade setups, then we just avoid. I think Edge got potential, just that last Friday their volume slightly high on down bar, so I think they're going to slightly forward. Okay, now Bannerlet is the one that also I've been sharing. Okay, for almost a month too. Okay, and the trade setup for me currently still looking fine. Okay, it somehow is looking fine. Okay, so again, what we see from here? Okay, if we switch to the weekly chart, okay, again, we look into over trends, right? So high volume is the one that changed the trend, changed the direction. Okay, so again, we look into VSA one spread analysis. Okay, so high volume turn to downtrend. High volume it holds. Okay, now the big volume haven't reached that. Okay, but the volume started to spike up. Okay, now we focus back into the daily charts over here. Okay, daily chart still in green zone. Okay, and what happened is that at this moment it seems like supported pretty well with the NS. Okay, it goes up. Okay, of course market weak for 2-3 weeks ago, but if you realize, even though market is weak, okay, but somehow this guy doesn't really drop a lot. Okay, compared to all this kind of healthcare counters, all the glove counters, all these kind of counters, right? Still supported in the very main areas, and now volume started to turn back. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I think 115 is a pretty good deal for me. Okay, 115 is a pretty good deal. Okay, so 3 so far in construction, just within few minutes. Okay, you just need to check where is the sector is at least showing some strength or momentum. Okay, and then you look into the best one. Okay, so of course I don't like to chase the top, like for example Imas Jaya. Okay, Imas Jaya few months ago, I think we posted out also, but after that I don't really follow. After it breaks up, okay, I don't really follow anymore, because I always like to buy here so that we always can enjoy the very first breakout. Of course, currently it doesn't show the weakness yet. Okay, so I leave up to you whether you want to trade something is already in the middle of markup or something started from the accumulation. Okay. Well, let's go to property. Seems I got some time. Okay, maybe I spend 10 minutes before I pass to Martin. Okay, probably we take another 1 or 2 more counters. Okay, because I promised to my members that I want to do some stock selection for them for next week. So immediately row 3, right? Zircon, I think it's Intaburi. Am I right? Intaburi, Penang. Okay, Penang. So okay, let's go to here. Property. With property, of course, I think they are more related on the gold currently. Okay, but it's a good setup to monitor. Like I say, gold is still holding above the 3 springs bar. Okay, likely they're going to reverse from there. There's a pullback setup there. Okay, Symphony Life also got a pretty good setup. Okay, last Friday volume is pretty good. So yes for me. But like I said, I like to look for something is from the accumulation. Yongtai. Okay, so Yongtai, one of the house top picks too. Anyone got Yongtai? Okay, anyone got Yongtai? I think we post out to members groups also regarding Yongtai after this volumes over here. Okay, now seems like volume is dries up, so hopefully I can able to get a good deal. Okay, near to my NS. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Again, we look into a weekly chart, easier like to check our overall direction. Okay, now as you can see from here, right? Actually, Yongtai has been in these I can say accumulations since 2018, end of 2018, and they're going lower and volume is picking up here. Finally, volume turns. This is June. Okay. Now, of course, now volumes is coming also on August. Okay, seems like chances for them to going back to previous resistance is pretty good. Okay, the volume there is pretty big. Okay, but again, even though weekly chart is looking nice, but we have to get ourselves a good price since we are trading in short terms. Okay, so now NS is here. Okay, green Paragon still there. Okay, going up, hitting the 2040s goes up, hitting the 420 again as a support. Now the next support for me, a good areas for me. Okay, should be these areas. Okay, again, I don't know whether tomorrow, Tuesday it will sort of break out or you test lower. Okay, but let's say test lower, 155. Okay, definitely is the areas that I'm pretty interested. Okay, try my luck on that. Okay, so NS is here. So for those that who don't know what is NS is it means no supply. Okay, which means that at this particular level, there's a very good support level. Okay, for you to look at. At least when you buy there, your risk is pretty low. Okay, MK Lens 2. Okay, got lots of sign of strength. Okay, Friday got a downwards there. Okay, but I think it's good because I was looking for a good entries too. Okay, so gap up followed by two spring. The green pentagon haven't turned yet. Okay, so you can wait for green pentagons for momentum tradings. But currently it's actually building a sideways. Okay, so for MK Lens. LBS break up higher, not that interested anymore. Margin payout 2, 3 even. Okay, probably I pick up one more. Okay, I will select one more. Okay, RNG. I kind of like RNG. Okay, so 3 from property, 3 from construction. Okay, so let's see how it goes next week. Okay, again, the things that we select here is quiet. Okay, but it can't be strong in the background. Okay, which means that slowly building up the momentum. Okay, slowly building up. Okay, now two goods volume here. Now, if you look into this chart over here, it's pretty similar like Zealand, in my opinion. Okay, of course, when you enter now, it's not going to be like, all this like XOX going up 30, 40, 50% a day, and then they drop like another 30, 40% a day. Okay, so it will be a very boring type. Okay, but once it break up, you also get inject first. Okay, so volume is there already. Let's look into the chart here. Yes, volume is building up nicely. Okay, it's higher than compared to the previous one, so higher chances for them to at least try the resistance again. Okay, so this week, okay, actually starting from Wednesday, okay, there's some volumes over here. Okay, let's see they can try on the resistance level somewhere around here. Resistance, which is previously they hit, but they fail again. Okay, I'm looking for entry around here. Okay, I don't know whether I can get this price. If not, 10 cents should be a good deal for me. Towards the resistance also can give me around like 20% to 90%. Okay, so again, always calculate your risk to reward. Is the trade worth to execute or not? If not, then we just look for others. Okay, so let's calculate our risk first. Okay, so 10 and 20. So 10% and 20%. So 1 against 2. Seems okay for me. Okay, seems okay for me because based on volume, I think they got chance to likely to break up further. Okay, from the 20% there. Okay. Well, again, 3 construction, 3 property. Hope you like it. Okay, hope you like it, and hope it actually helps you how to identify those that counters that building up. Okay, with a very small momentum. So hopefully, after they've done the accumulations, they've done all the removal of weekend holders, then they'll break up pretty soon. Okay, so always remember, don't chase trades. Okay, don't be trapped like my friends there. Okay, who's keep buying XOX there. Okay, if you're buying at a support level, then it should be fine. Okay, so I think with this, any other questions? If not, maybe I'll pass back to Martin. Okay. Martin, you want to take over?
Yep. Thank you very much. We want
Okay.
to wrap up now and share the remaining closing in here. So I'm just going to do this here. Okay, let's bring this over here, back here. Okay. Okay, want to do a sound check, please, if you can hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, right? So I'm just going to do the screen sharing. Can you see the screen sharing? Okay, good. So welcome back. We're going to be summing it up in here. So we just heard what our coach and trainer Zach show you some of our screener in here. And after still 1.5 hours, many of you are still with us. Thank you for your time. So you can see how effective when we say we combine all, well, just go back to the previous slide, right? We just show you just some of the tools that is needed. Let's go back to here. In here, this one here, I think this is important, right? We talk about the screener, NSA screener, and also the sector analysis that you see on the chart. By knowing this in here, you are already ahead. Just like I've said before, we are getting out and moving into what sectors? What sectors are we looking at right now? Anybody? What was Zach looking at just now? Right? He was looking at the sector of property, isn't it? Sector of property, isn't it? So that's why we are always ahead. By rotating a sector and going for those momentum, you're able to ride out in here. So this is the so-called takeaway that you have. And what we want to do, okay, and also we talk about when to exit too, right? So gonna go on to the summary. So as a summary, volume momentum trading, like it or not, right? It is. We so-called believe that it is consistent of CanSlim magic number plus momentum trading. Trader, if you are a trader, just focus on the momentum trading. And if you're an investor, you can use two or both, which is momentum trading as well as magic numbers in there. So that's what makes it. I know we try to simplify a lot of things. That's why we try to. There is a lot of details that Coach Arif talked about it, from CanSlim, magic numbers, momentum trading. So do allow some time to learn this, okay? And a lot of these are available on youtube.com/TradeVSA. Plenty of time, just go over there and watch those two. Will give you plenty of things. Another simplified volume momentum trading that we do, we find it works very well, which we've been using, is using the TradeVSA Pentagon, stock screener that Zach showed with you, and able to, but it's best combined for those. If you are investing, also use a smart Robie, but you get the FA ratings, okay? And last but not least is focus on the education and reskilling yourself. I cannot emphasize more that as an investor, as a trader, you need to reskill. Just like us, we coach are constantly learning, right? There are some of them people who are FA. They only learn about FA. Right, that's about it. They say they don't want to touch about. And there are some who are technical traders. All right, they don't learn that. There's nothing wrong with it. I have to say nothing wrong. But if you're a big fan of John Wick like me, right? You see how John Wick continued to improve himself. He get better each show, from John Wick 1, John Wick 2, John Wick 3. When you see John Wick 4, maybe it's a bit fatter, but he's improving. That's why I say using John Wick as a role model in here. He is constantly improving, making his martial art and his fight scenes, right? Fight scene was excellent, all right? Those of you who have not watched John Wick, go and watch John Wick. If not, go and watch The Matrix. It's coming back. So the same thing, our focus also, focus on being an education. Next time when I do this slide, I'm going to put John Wick photo inside. Reskilling yourself as an investor, as a trader, and adopt a winning method. I think that's when we'll continue to follow the right Sifu and the coach, all right? The right Sifu and the right coach who will act in your best interest, and also a community. That's what Zach also mentioned, right? We do it in our members training coaches, right? If you feel that's good, then join us. If not, doesn't matter. There are many free things out there, all right? So keep that in mind. So make no mistakes, get educated. I think that's very important during this MCO, which probably get extended. We will continue to see that. You can see we do a lot of things on Zoom. And again, the masterclass for October is open for registration. Some of you who are registered can come back and reseat it again. Because this round, the coaches, we did have one meeting. We will have a little bit of new scope for you. And we are starting additional on Friday. If I'm not mistaken, we start on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then on Monday, okay, and then on Wednesday. So it's almost 5 days, right? But it's more like grouping that into 3 days, okay? If you are interested, those of you who are interested in our masterclass, just type masterclass, no obligation. You want to know some detail, or you just type MC inside there. My coach will sort of, briefly explain to you, no obligations. You want to know about the pricing, you know what we teach. So just type in MC inside there, right? So Martin, you totally changed from FA to a TA again. Now I know I'm a FATA guy. Yeah, that's right. You're a FATA guy. No, partly, Kenny, we used to be a TA, but the problem with TA, you cannot pick big amount of money. You can put $50,000 in there. I am putting 15 million, together my own money, my client's money on my side, and on Bill's side, we have another 45 million. So all in all, we put about 16 million in the KLSE market, in Singapore and Hong Kong market. If you just go purely on TA, I'll be sleepless every night, to be frank with you. But we need to have FA and TA. So become what they call a FATA guy, right, Kenny? The FATA guy, that's right. Because we're talking a big amount, small amount. If you come into me, you got $5,000, just go for momentum trading. But guess what? When you know how to invest, you will take money out from your fixed deposit. You got year-end bonus. You might not use it. You want to learn how to invest. I have a little small account which I have 25,000. Now I grow to about 70,000. But it takes some time. It took about 5 or 6 years, and that's what we wanted to do, right? Then I have a bigger account which is about 400,000-500,000. Again, a client of mine. We grew up to about 1 million. That took about 7 years. But what I want to say with you is the knowing what we talk about, the value momentum trading. Now, if you think forward, that this trend is continue to go up. It's going to go up. The question is, do you want to board this boat or not? You want to board this boat or not? You might jump on this boat or not? Because the boat is going to leave it without. Now, you can see after 10 years or 5 years or 3 years, Sudah naik or Dow Jones already 30,000, which I already tell you today, or KLCI. If KLCI doesn't break to 1600, where do we look for a new boat? Value investing, where you learn the method, and we will sort of bring you together with the community like a busload. We go together like a big boat. So the masterclass, what this Tom Williams, who have taught me, he told me, Martin, go back and teach your fellow Malaysians. That's what we're trying to do in here. Of course, we have the freemium model, which is absolutely free. Go and watch all of those. If you can find value and you learn something, do share it at the band. But then some of you who really want to reskill yourself and get it better, who really get into my brains and how our cultures and how we think, welcome to our community. And also join our Telegram group. All right. So this is, again, I always show this because we're coming out from a bull market into a bear market. There is going to be a lot of optimism coming in here, right? And then again, this is a most important thing. And sometimes the other half said I'm pretty obsessed with the US election, which I continue to show the Biden and the Trump. Now, how many of you think that Dow Jones is going to be going higher? Dow Jones is going to go higher. If you type the Dow Jones 30,000, is already 28,000 already. So it's going to go higher no matter who wins. The question is, are you going to be ready? Because like it or not, we live longer. We need the money in future. So better learn how to trade and learn how to invest. We are both, FATA. I never like to call the FATA, because when you call the FATA, you drop the A, become, I'm a fat man. No, I want to be John Wick. Sorry, I like to have a bit of fun. I think that's the whole purpose of what we do on a Rally Saturday here. Okay. So again, so we have a master classes to share with you. We will start on the 4th, 3rd of April. Some of you who already have, we will contact you, or if you want to, there's a number on the right-hand side, 010266. Contact us, and we'll continue to share with you more of our techniques and things like that. And don't forget, next week, okay, so this is again going back to finding the right Sifu. I had a Sifu, I have Tom, right now you have me, and you have also Coach Arif, who continue to update you too. All right, don't forget this coming Monday, we got another Sifu, chef celebrity. That's right. He was also one of my students too. And now he's a famous celebrity down in the southern region in here. I train a lot of people up there. And I'm very proud. I tell them, to all my students, and you too, you have to be better than me. And when you are better than me, I'm very proud of you. To be frank, that's true. No? I always challenge a lot of my students, a lot of my coaches to be better than me. So that way we improve. One generation better than the other generation, isn't it? That's what we have. We cannot say going forward our children is much worse off than us. We don't want to be that. We want to look for opportunities. If we don't have it in Malaysia, we look it in US, we look it in Hong Kong, we look it in Singapore. And for our Malay friend, together with Chef Celebrity, Chef Saham, we look for Sharia stocks for you. All right, that's okay. So next, don't forget, next coming Friday, another great talk. Okay, this coming Wednesday, not Friday, Wednesday, will be 5G. I'll talk about 5G. What's with all this craze, and what's it like to be holding a stock like Tesla and Apple? We don't have Tesla, we don't have Apple in KLSE. Having said that, but what does it feel to be holding those? So we're going to explore this, the big tech boom this coming Wednesday. Again, totally free of charge in here in the COVID-19 9:30, where we have a bit more bigger audience in here. We always come with good topics where, you know, me and my team constantly thinking, you know, what to teach you guys out there. So stand with us next Wednesday. If not, I'll catch you earlier on Monday. So those of you who type in MC, thank you very much for your support inside there. All right. And if not, I'll see you next Wednesday. I'll teach you about 5G. Okay. You like it? 5G. Already making money from 5G, man. Apple. Samsung. Lagi apa? Inari. Broadcom. A few more also. Okay. So those are just little hint coming from. I know a bit excited because when it comes to stock, this is what I'm good at. I always talk about you always good in something. In every one of you, definitely you have to find one. For me, it's the stock market, and for my trainer, Zach and coach, I want to bring it up to the level, which I intend to do that to you too. All right. Okay. If you give me a chance, that's all. If not, just follow all the free stuff. Okay. So if not, join our Telegram group that we have. So take a photo of this, join us. We'll continue to update you all the talks that we have to motivate you to be a good investor and to be kind to your family, make good money, and that's all you have to do. Be responsible to your family, to your wife and children. Make more wealth for yourself. When you grow older, you have more and not less. Remember, my mentor always tell me, if you don't work hard now, you will work very, very hard when you're old. With that, I bid you farewell. I hope my last quote is good enough for you to motivate you to be a good investor and a trader to move on to better things in life. Thank you very much. If not, I'll see you on Friday for the breakfast show. So those of you who want to know a little bit about masterclass, put it in there and Zach will follow up. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. See you. All the best. All right, Zach, you'll take over. And those of you who wanted to contact Zach for the masterclass detail in here, Zach is going to be in there. Myself, I'll be leaving soon. All right. Okay, so I'll stop sharing.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Okay, so for those that who is interested to know more about the masterclass or TradeVSA system, you can PM to me. Okay, my number is there, 016-2669-761. Okay, if you've got any questions too, you can let me know. Okay, if not, probably we will we'll end the section soon. Yeah. Okay, I think there's no questions there. Okay, then we'll end now. So for those that who type the MC, I'll PM me shortly. Okay, regarding the details of masterclass, just let me know any other infos that you know. Then I will send it to you. Okay, thank you everyone, and have a nice weekend and happy Merdeka.